This will actually be the last video of the year, and the reason for that is because hi everyone, my name is Kim. I am a registered dietitian nutritionist, a certified diabetes educator, a newly minted nutrition support clinician, which we're going to talk about a bit later, and owner of KimRoseDietitian.com. So you guys heard it here, you heard right. This will actually be the last video of the year, and the reason for that is because I want to reevaluate some things about this YouTube channel in order to serve you, my audience, more appropriately. So I'm currently in the midst of collaborating with some awesome dietitians, and one of them really sticks out to me. It's actually dietitians and non-dietitians, but one non-dietitian actually sticks out to me, her research, which I think impacts everyone. And don't quote me on this, but I think she also may be sponsored by Gatorade. So just come back 2020 for her presentation. But it also dawned on me during my time here on YouTube, I've never really given you guys an introduction to letting you know like who I am, my story, personal, professional endeavors, things of that nature. So today, for the last video of 2019, this is what we're going to do. So I'm not really sure where to begin, so let's start from the beginning. So in high school, I received a scholarship from Clarence Thomas, and when I actually met him, I didn't even know who the guy was at the time, but it dawned on me during that scholarship acceptance that I really should not pay any money to obtain my education, and that always stuck with me. So fast forwarding, I went to Florida State University, had a full ride scholarship from what Florida State gave me, as well as the association that Clarence Thomas was a part of that gave me a scholarship as well. And I thought I was always going to be a nurse. Got into Florida State University's FSU nursing school, and it dawned on me that summer before I started my fall term that, hey, nursing really isn't it. And I praise God for that, because I don't tolerate scents too well. I mean, I can see blood, I can see vomit, but smells, my olfactory nerves. So I praise God for that, because have you guys ever smelt a GI bleed? What about C. diff? So my stomach kind of turns at those things. So when I relinquished my seat to go to the nursing program, I decided that I was going to take up two majors. I was going to take exercise science because maybe I want to be a physical therapist, and then I was going to tag on food and nutrition because, hey, maybe I'm going to be a dietitian. So during all my classes, of course, you know, exercise science, it laps on over. With the food and nutrition aspect of things, I started realizing that, hey, I really liked food and nutrition, but my heart was still torn. I really didn't know what way to go. So one of my metabolism classes, I became very close with one of my professors, Dr. Levinson, and she actually picked me and another undergraduate to do graduate PhD level research with her, which is something that I was interested in. Like, hey, she was working with rats and she was looking at their brains related to the nutritional uptake of zinc and G0 cells and the S phase, all of that great stuff, and I loved it. So this was my senior year, and I was still torn. Like, okay, do I want to go into physical therapy or do I want to be a dietitian? So I took a whole year off of school. And during that entire year, I moved to Alabama out of all places, and I kind of did what I like to call like my little missionary work. I worked with the underserved population, particularly the Mexican population, teaching them how to cook foods that would be lower in fat and foods that would have like a less starch content, because I realized that hyperlipidemia as well as diabetes and other metabolic diseases were like raging rampant in the Mexican community. So the organization that I was working with would have free lectures and cooking classes, which I was the one to give the lectures as well as the cooking classes. So, and I would also have like a translator as well, because of course I'm not Spanish speaking, but I did pick up a few words. But right after that, I was still in contact with Dr. Levinson, and she called me and she was like, Kim, you know, I went to UAB, University of Alabama at Birmingham, and I just have to make one phone call and you're in. Do you want to go? And my heart was telling me like, no, you know, I don't want to be a researcher in a lab. Like, I actually want to work with populations. So I turned that down and I applied for my dietetic internship. One thing about me, I wouldn't say that I am the smartest or I look good on paper compared to the other candidates, but I am very tenacious. So I applied to the VA in St. Louis, Missouri, and through much prayer, I got in. And during that time, it was only 6 interns and it was like 20 something dietitians. It was a very competitive dietetic internship. I was actually told by someone that like, hey, you're not gonna get in because of XYZ. Like your GPA is not like a 4.0, it's not like a 3.95, you're not gonna get in. But I was like, I'm gonna apply anyway. I'm going to try. The worst that they could say is no. So I ended up getting in, and during this dietetic internship, all the girls were, you know, just coming out of their master's programs or doing some type of phenomenal lab-based research, and I was really like the only one that, you know, came off of the I call it the field, working in the communities. And on top of that, I was the only Caribbean there. Like everyone else was born in the United States. I was the only one that was a naturalized citizen, which I really didn't think too much of it. Thinking back, you know, speaking with my dietetic internship director, you know, these things did stick out to her. So I'm very grateful for Amy Noblock Hahn, who does have a YouTube channel here, for accepting me into the internship. And I learned a great deal. So during my internship, like, things were not easy for me. As I've stated, I was out of school for a year. I wasn't strong on the clinical aspect of dietetics. I was more community-based. I could speak to individuals. I was able to hone in on my listening skills, active listening skills. So that was a strong suit for me. I just had a very hard time with my nutrition support rotation, my parenteral nutrition, enteral nutrition, my cardiac units. I just had like the worst time with those things. Fast forwarding, left the internship, got a job before finishing my internship, passed my RD exam, and I continued working. And it was not until I was actually in the field that I started to understand, like, oh, okay, this is what they meant in regards to tube feeding or in regards to parenteral nutrition. And I decided that I was going to create this YouTube channel in order to teach students that are in the dietetic realm, that want to be future dietitians, that really don't catch on to those things, but I do have tenacity. So I made this YouTube channel in order to help students, help future dietitians, dietetic interns, current dietitians navigate through some of the toughest parts of the field, which in my view is clinical nutrition. Additionally, on my website, if you guys go there, I have like a series of videos specifically speaking about parenteral nutrition that I have created as well in order for dietitians to overcome this feat. So during my time at my first job, which is still actually the job that I have when I graduated from my internship, the CNO of the hospital asked me if I'll consider becoming a certified diabetes educator, because he wanted an endocrinologist on board, and I actually mastered that. And then couple weeks ago, I took the exam to become a certified nutrition support clinician, and the exam for me was easier than I had thought. It was easier than the certified diabetes educator exam, but that also could be because I dedicated 1 year of studying. I probably studied 2 to 3 hours every day for 1 year, or every other day. And I tend to overstudy because I'm not looking for short-term memory storage. I'm looking for long-term memory storage. So I kind of think I really overdid it there. But backtracking just a little bit, working in the hospital setting really exposed me to general practice. So I was exposed to all different types of diseases, a variety of age groups, except for pediatrics. I really don't deal with peds populations. So because of that, I also decided while I was working at the hospital to work as a long-term care consultant dietitian in a nursing home, and also an outpatient renal dietitian. So at one time I was holding down 3 jobs. And it wasn't for the money. It was really to not lose any skills from my dietetic internship, to sharpen up on my skills. Because if you don't use it, you lose it. So I did that. I held down all 3 jobs for like a year and a half, and then I let go of, I think it was the nursing home first, and I just had the hospital and the outpatient dialysis clinic, and I held on to that for like another year. So all in all, it was about 3 years that I had more than one job, and I just decided when I felt that my knowledge was full that I let that go. So right now what I'm doing, I think it's time that I open up my own private practice. And in the area where I live, it is a very retired, semi-rural area. So I'm feeling like currently I'm going to have to start outsourcing a bit into the neighboring cities, which are a little bit bigger. My mentor of mine actually recommended that I do that, and I'm very grateful for her in regards to navigating this whole entire insurance, accepting insurance realm. Other from that, that's what's going on with me. That's my history. That's what's going on with me personally as well as professionally. So I know that this was a quick video. If you guys have any questions related to anything that I shared, please go ahead and leave it in the comments section below. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and check out my website and check out some of the resources that I do have for new dietitians, dietitian students, interns, as well as current dietitians who may be struggling in relation to nutrition support or diabetes education. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. Even though I'm not going to be present on YouTube for the rest of the year, I'm still very much going to be active on my Instagram account. So go ahead and check me out, Kim Rose Dietitian, same name as my YouTube channel. And additionally, I'm still going to be active on my podcast, Nutrition Lifestyles with Kim and Joanne. So Joanne is another dietitian that I have known for over 10 years. We went to school together, and we discuss issues that are near and dear to us culturally, professionally, as well as socially. So I want you guys to check out our podcast. It's available on iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify. And also remember to rate and review us. Thanks.